You are tuned in to On Air with Chris Shanafelt. Welcome back On Air with Chris Shanafelt, presented by the NFL Draft Bible. Visit NFLDraftBible.com, bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. And the 2019 NFL Draft is behind us, and NFL rookie minicamps begin this weekend. And our next guest will be here in Chicago, participating in the Bears rookie minicamp, as we are now joined by one of the newest members of the Monsters of the Midway, the Chicago Bears defensive back out of Widener University. He's Jordan Powell. Jordan, really appreciate you taking some time to chat this evening, man. And, again, we're not even a week removed from you signing with the Chicago Bears after going undrafted this past weekend. Has it hit you yet that you're a member of the charter franchise of the National Football League?
First off, I want to say thanks, Chris, for having me. And, it kind of has hit me this week. This week has been a little bit of craziness. A whole bunch of people congratulated me, talking to me, and just coming into my life. So I really think this week definitely hit home for me that I'm about to have an opportunity to play in the National Football League and for a great organization like the Chicago Bears.
And for those listening, Widener University, Division III program in Chester, Pennsylvania. And before we look ahead to this opportunity you have coming up this weekend, I mean, just take us through what this past weekend was like for you, Jordan. I mean, specifically day 3 of the NFL draft, where if you're going to hear your name called at all during the draft, a small school prospect like yourself, kind of under the radar, it would have been on that day 3, rounds 4 through 7. Were you watching the draft, or did you try and keep your mind off of it as it was going on?
I went up back to Morristown, New Jersey with my family and friends, and we had the draft on 4 through 7 pretty much the whole day. We all were there watching it, keeping a close eye. So I was looking forward to definitely the late rounds of the draft, hoping I would get drafted. But when the draft ended, it kind of came to a standstill, and nobody really knew what to do and know how to act. So it didn't take too long for my phone to start ringing. And I saw that 847 area code from Illinois, so it was a very good feeling after that.
Once the draft ended, take us through what those minutes, hours, I mean, I know the news came out pretty quickly following the draft. I mean, take us through what your agent had been discussing. I'm sure there were more than just one offer on the table. How did you guys decide that Chicago would not only be the best fit for you, Jordan, but the best opportunity for you as well?
So we had a couple teams call during the 7th round, and right after the draft, just contacted my agent and me about what they plan on doing. So the Bears pretty much were one of the top teams on our list because they came to Widener University first. One of the first teams to come to Widener when I was still in my senior year of football. So we just we looked at their defensive roster, we looked at the coaches, and we just felt like Chuck Pagano there being a defensive coordinator and Matt Nagy being the head coach over there was just a great fit for me as a person and a playmaker. And I just felt like their organization has just taken huge strides, and we love how the history of the Chicago Bears and their defense has been sound and just have been very looked upon as a great defense over many, many years. So we just felt like I had a great opportunity there to make a name for myself and have a chance to make the team and help the organization.
And obviously, Jordan, we still have quite a bit of ways to go. I know you're probably not looking too far ahead. You're probably just focused on rookie minicamp, again, May 3rd through the 6th this weekend. But you're joining the league's top defense from a year ago, who's returning 10 of its 11 starters from last year. I got to ask you, I mean, how excited are you to share the field with guys such as Eddie Jackson, Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith? I mean, with the Bears defense, you could really just go on and on listing the superstar players. It doesn't get much better than that, especially for somebody playing in the back end, the last line of defense like yourself.
I was actually sitting down with my friends and family after we got the call. I was talking about all the guys I play. Like you mentioned, Eddie Jackson from Alabama, a ball hog, can do so many things in the back end, and other guys like Khalil Mack, one of the best defensive players in the National Football League. It's just amazing to know that I could be standing next to one of these guys or getting advice from one of these guys, like a corner like Kyle Fuller, which I feel like we have a lot of similar with our body types and how we play. And then another veteran on the other side with Prince and McMorrow that has just so much versatility and experience playing the game of football. So I think it would really be just amazing to share that time and conversation with these guys because they've been through it, they've done it, and obviously they've been very successful with having one of the top defense in the league last year. So I'm very excited to just have the opportunity to do that with them.
Again, we're chatting with one of the newest members of the Chicago Bears by way of Division III's Widener University. Widener Pride represented here on air with Chris Shanafelt. He's Jordan Powell. And Jordan, if you are on the team come September, you'll be the first from Widener to make an NFL active roster since 1988. So needless to say, again, not every year a prospect comes out of Widener University, and even make it to the point where you're at right now, Jordan. What's it mean to you to kind of put Widener University on the map, and is it something that you take pride of, the fact that you've taken a route to the league that not many have?
Yes, I personally think it's like the route I've taken has made me a better man and a better player. I can give it all up to my mom and dad because they have pretty much molded me into the man that I am today. And my coaching staff at Widener has just implemented a lot of good work ethic into me to make me a better football player. But I personally feel like coming from a small school, a Division III school, and not getting a lot of hype as a school as a whole makes me work and other D3 players work a little bit harder than expected because you already know you're against the fence and you already know the chips are all stacked up against you. So you need to just work that much harder to even get recognized, unlike these guys at a lot of D1 programs because they already have the name out there or their team has a lot of national championships under the belt. So I feel like definitely being at a D3 school molded me, and being at Widener molded me into the player and person, man, I am today. And it's been a very good experience.
In terms of the NFL dream, again, I mean, Division III kid, not every year do we hear about a Division III football player make it to the National Football League. When did it hit you that you had a legit shot at furthering your playing career and making it a full-time job?
Well, I definitely had a dream ever since I was 8 years old playing in Jersey. So that was always something I looked forward to doing. But I think it kind of hit me definitely after my junior year season at Widener. That was the first year that I pretty much took my game to a whole new level in terms of really going through film study, knowing what it's really meant to work hard and treat the game as a professional, even at the college level. So when I had pretty much my breakout junior year, I was starting to get a lot of calls and a lot of interest and a lot of people showing up from different NFL organizations and coming to take a look at me. So then going into my senior year, I knew I would have to have another good year because of the small school standard, and one good year just wasn't going to cut it. So I just knew I had to treat that year almost like a huge tryout for everybody and just show them that it wasn't just a 1 year fluke. So I was really excited to have the opportunity, definitely going into my senior year and already teams knowing about me a little bit and having to try to show what I could do for a second year straight.
And taking a dive into your game, Jordan, your first full season as a starter, you already mentioned it was as a junior in 2017, and to say that you're ready for that moment would be an understatement. You recorded 53 tackles, 11.5 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, 6 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, and you led Division III football. And I'd be willing to bet that you probably led the entire NCAA with 6 defensive touchdowns. Just listing off those stats, I mean, it really does no justice to, actually seeing those plays unfold and watching the film, watching the tape. With those efforts, you were, of course, named Middle Atlantic Defensive Player of the Year. You're nominated for the Cliff Harris Award, which, of course, is given to the top defensive player in D2, D3, and NAIA. How were you able to burst onto the scene the way you did your first year starting on defense?
Playing my junior season was pretty crazy. A lot of people talk about it as it being like a video game type season, but I have to give all my credit to my coaches and the players I played with. The coaching scheme that we had there was just everybody do your 111s, and as long as everybody does their job, it's going to help somebody else out in the back end or the forefront. So as long as defensive linemen were rushing the passer and linebackers were rerouting routes, it just made my job a whole lot easier to be able to be in the right position to make plays. I feel like my film study helped and grew a huge amount for my sophomore to junior year because the game slowed down immensely for me. I saw things happening before they even happened. I could pretty much know plays before based on tendencies that I see in film all week that I used to not really recognize as a freshman and a sophomore. So my coaches really just taught me the best way to look at the game and view each opportunity to make a play, and I just try to make the most of every opportunity that I had. So I wanted to help my team out.
I was able to speak to your position coach, Vaughn Nichols-Taylor, today, and he said that you would always ask him to play in the box. And in order to play in the box, as you know, Jordan, you have to add a different level of physicality to your game, and not every defensive back has that. Why do you enjoy playing in the box? And talk about the physicality you bring to the safety position, because it's quite evident right away when watching your game that you play with an edge. You play with this physical edge that again really stands out right away. And again, it's gotten you to where you're at right now. So it's certainly a big part of your game.
Yeah, I really take pride in playing in the box, playing down safety or definitely in the nickel position as I did it in college, because it's somewhere that a lot of people can't be. Just your everyday human walking around, or just a couple people that play football just don't have any business or want to have any business being in there. So I really take pride in being able to be in there and be forced in there, because it's just a different type of game. It's not delicate at all. It's definitely very dehumanizing to people about getting hit every play and stuff. So I really like to have a force in there and just be physical, because that's definitely a way you can change the game by setting the tone and showing that you're not scared to be up there with the big boys, the big 300-pound linemen, and taking on blocks and stuff. So I definitely take pride in being in the box, because I know I can do it at my size, and it helps. Anything that helps the team out also makes it a lot more fun.
And just one more thing, going back to that, the physicality you bring to the game. I mean, the hit against the FDU Florham quarterback back in 2017, when you forced him to fumble, you scooped it up, returned it for a touchdown, was probably one of the hardest 100% clean hits you'll probably ever see in the college football game or in football in general. No joke about it. 6'1", 204. I know that's what your latest bio has you listed at. Is that about where you're at right now, heading into rookie minicamp this weekend?
Yeah, that's about where I'm at right now. Try to keep the same amount of weight and definitely keep the speed with that weight. So yeah, that's about where I am going into rookie minicamp this weekend.
For Bears fans out there listening, what kind of player will the Windy City be getting in Jordan Powell? You talk about the versatility, the physicality that you bring to a defense. What else can they expect from you, seeing you in the navy blue and orange?
The Chicago Bears will definitely get a man that's going to walk in there every single day and work hard, probably try to be the hardest worker in the whole entire building, even including all the veterans, relentless, doesn't know when to stop, never stops, never walks from the field ever, and is always willing to help the team out any which way possible, whether that be defense or running down on kickoff, making special teams plays, just being a sponge, just being an absolute gym rat. There's no words I can put into having this chance and opportunity to play in the National Football League, especially with the Bears. So I definitely will come in every single day and do whatever I can to help the Chicago Bears win the Super Bowl, and definitely make a name for myself and my family, just make my family proud for everything they've done for me.
Few more questions for Jordan Powell, again, the undrafted free agent who signed with the Chicago Bears this past weekend following the 2019 NFL Draft. Rookie minicamp kicks off this weekend, May 3rd through the 6th. Jordan, obviously on tape, what you've done on the field is a big part of the process, but, some would say just about as equal to, what you provide on tape would be, what you were able to provide at your pro day. Pretty impressive numbers, to say the least. You ran a 4.59 40, 15 reps of 225 pounds. You again measured in at 6'1", a little over 200 pounds. Where was your pro day at, and how big of an opportunity was that for you to kind of, for the NFL teams in attendance to kind of get their hands on you and to tell themselves that you are made for the next level?
I was able to have my pro day at the NovaCare Complex Center in Philadelphia. It was hosted by the Villanova coaching staff and the Villanova team. So that was where I got to showcase all my abilities to run, jump, and see my strengths. So I think it was definitely a huge opportunity for me, and I feel like I capitalized on it immensely because I proved that you don't have to be a D1 player or a D1 AA player to have great athleticism or great attributes in those kind of fields. So I felt like that was just a great opportunity for me to showcase everything that I could do, not on the football field and numbers-wise, and to see how it compared with top guys in the drafts or guys from D1 schools that are getting a lot of looks and got a lot of recognition.
Absolutely, and when talking about making the transition from the Division III level to now the professional level at the NFL, some would say the digesting the playbook would be maybe one of the tougher avenues to go across. Does that worry you at all? You mentioned how much of a film junkie you are, how much film you watch, and how much you pay attention in film meetings. I mean, is that is the size of an NFL playbook anything that even a bit concerned about digesting an NFL playbook?
I'm not too concerned about it. I know that it's definitely going to be a lot more expensive than our college playbook and what we learn in college, but I'm not too worried about it. I have this faith in my studying abilities and my study habits, so I feel like if a coach puts a play out in front or a scheme out in front of me and gives me a chance to learn it and dissect it, that I'm going to eventually get it. So I pick up on things relatively quickly, and I kind of just try to put it into my own terminology in my head to make sure I can remember it. So I'm not too worried about the playbook in the sense of it's going to slow me down on the field.
And I gotta think having a coaching staff, Mike Kelly, he certainly surrounded you guys with some really talented coaches, some really good coaches there at Widener. Dan Connor, former NFL linebacker, I believe he spent 6 or 7 years in the league. He certainly knows what he's talking about. I'm curious, did any of those guys, and I know Bill Suey, who's actually now on the Chicago Bears staff, did any of those guys kind of give you any advice as you now look to not necessarily follow their footsteps, but here you are kind of following the same direction that they've gone in playing in the National Football League? You get any advice from any of those guys that have experience playing at the pro level?
Well, yes. Me and Coach Suey were very close. My freshman, sophomore, and junior year of Widener, he coached my position and was the defensive coordinator for me. So he really was the man who taught me almost everything I know about football up to this point, besides my coaches in high school. But he really took my game to a whole new level, just teaching me how hard it is to work and how consistent and disciplined you have to be if I want to be able to play at the National Football League level. And then it's just pretty much how much I want it. It's all about pride, and it's all about how much you really want to do something. So he really taught me that, which I'm so grateful for. And Coach Connor, my senior year, had kind of a similar but also different outlook because he actually played in the National Football League. So we would definitely sit down and have a lot of talks about whether he think I was able to play or whether I was good enough. And he would give me his input on how it was to be a National Football League player and how to conduct my business and go about my days, my work habits, my stretching, my consistency in the weight room, just everything that a lot of NFL players that have a lot of years do and become successful. So they definitely both had a huge part in my success and moving forward to the NFL level.
Yeah, and earlier I said I wonder how the Bears discovered you. I'm sure Bill Shuey certainly had a big part in that, but nonetheless, here you are now, a member of the Chicago Bears, and rookie minicamp kicks off this weekend. I'm sure you're very excited, very eager to get that started. And again, Jordan, can't thank you enough for spending some time here on the show. Really do appreciate it, man. Any final words out there? Any words to Bears Nation out there that you want to end the interview with?
I just appreciate the Bears for giving me an opportunity to showcase my skills and be a part of the organization. And for the fans, definitely give you guys something to look forward to. I appreciate all the love and support that the Windy City gives, and I just am excited to become a Chicago Bear.
Hey, man, really excited for you, and again, can't wait to see you in the navy blue and orange here on the lakeside. And again, really appreciate your time. And again, congrats on not only a very successful, a fantastic career there at Widener University. Again, being able to put the university on the map, and again, congrats on all the success, and of course, inking a deal with the Chicago Bears, Jordan. Really do appreciate you taking some time, and hope to keep in touch, man.
Oh, yes, of course, Chris. I appreciate this opportunity very much. Thank you.